regardless of the sport, you'd like to be able to get the quickest care you can for a student, or if somebody in the stands or anybody else if they have an incident. But you know, it's just as prudent as you can be, and yet within the resources you have.
According to the Herald Leader, in 2017, Fayette County Public Schools had a contract with AMR Standby Services to have an ambulance on site for any football game where two Fayette County schools played each other. The contract was for just under $9,000. An FCPS spokesperson told the paper that contract would change in 2018 to have an ambulance presence at every home football game played in the county, with a projected budget of just over $17,000. FCPS does not currently have a policy regarding ambulances at games, so we asked them, why not? They told us there is, quote, no need for a policy. They said funding is not an issue and explained that FCPS schools are within close proximity to fire stations. Looking at a map, all of the high schools are within roughly 2 miles and 5 minutes of a Lexington fire station.
Well, it's recommended that they have an ambulance there.
Julian Tackett is the commissioner of the Kentucky High School Athletic Association. He says the KHSAA does not require ambulances to be present at high school football games.
In the best of all worlds, you have an ambulance there and you have a certified or licensed athletic trainer at every event you do.
FCPS says they do have medical emergency aid training and UK medical staff on site at games, and that, coupled with the locations of the schools in relation to fire stations, puts them, quote, in a good spot to provide aid when needed for student athletes. In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.